In flies, red eyes, big R, are dominant to brown eyes, little r, and brown bodies, big B, are dominant to yellow bodies, little b. A fly with genotype big R, little b, is mated with a fly that is big R, big B, big B. What ratio of genotypes would most likely be found in the first generation offspring? So, first thing I want to do is make sure I know what genotypes I'll be using. And so it tells me that I've got big R, little b, and that's mated with a fly that's big R, big B, big B. And so now that I understand that, I can make my Punnett squares. Since I'm doing two traits, I'll need two Punnett squares. My first Punnett square is going to be about eye color, and so I've got a heterozygote and a homozygous dominant. So I can fill that in. And my second Punnett square is going to be about body color, and so I've got homozygous recessive and homozygous dominant. And I can fill that in. So now we can look at our question. It wants to know the ratio of genotypes in the first generation of offspring. So this may seem a little confusing, it may throw you off a bit, but it's actually going to be very simple once you break it down. So look here, I've got 50% of my offspring, half of them, would be homozygous dominant, big R, and the other 50% are going to be heterozygous, big R, little r. That's the only difference in the offspring because all of them are going to be heterozygous for body color because that's the only genotype we have in that second Punnett square. So when I'm looking at my answer choices, I should see 50% that are homozygous dominant for eye color, big R, and 50% that are heterozygous for eye color, big R, little r, and big B, little b should be the only genotype I see for body color because that's the only genotype that's in that Punnett square. And so looking at our answer choices, I can see that A is wrong even though it has 50% and 50% because it does not have a homozygous dominant genotype for eye color, the big R, and the body color genotypes are wrong. It doesn't have big B, little b, so A is not correct. B is not correct because it doesn't show the homozygous dominant genotype at all for eye color. C has the incorrect percentages, and it also has the incorrect genotypes for body color. There should only be one genotype for body color, and that should be big B, little b. And so I can see that D is my correct answer. It shows 50% and 50%, with the difference being the genotypes for eye color, and notice that it only shows big B, little b as the genotype for body color, and so D is the correct answer. And that's why it's so important that you do your Punnett squares instead of just trying to guess at the correct answer. Once we did our Punnett squares, it made these answer choices make much more sense, and figuring out what the correct answer was became much simpler.